Hey guys, we're back again in today's episode. It seems you all really enjoy these comics being brought to life, which is cool because they're my favorite types of videos to make, along with fan fictions, of course. In today's video, we will enter the fourth of 5 issues explaining Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison comics by Dark Horse. This issue doesn't have much dialogue, and therefore it won't be as in-depth as the last 3 videos I did. However, there is information at the end that explains the point of view of a Darksider and why they hate the Republic. Now, this is important for 2 reasons. The first being because we don't ever get to see the opinions of the bad guys, and the second because Disney is all about the Empire right now. They're creating new comics and games such as Battlefront 2, all in favor of the Empire and why they chose the path they did. I think Disney will make many parts from these Legends comics and incorporate them into the movies, games, books, and new comics. With that said, let's begin. Vader granted permission to set the prisoners free. The original idea was to give the prisoners the chance of freedom if they helped the Empire. However, Vader wanted to test them and let only the survivors to join the ranks. The first several pages consist of Tom, Tracta, and Vader fighting the prisoners that Anakin locked up in the Clone Wars, explaining the specialties of some and the loyalties of others, such as General Urloch, one of Dooku's enforcers that Anakin captured. He would use his tongue to draw enemies in, then bite their heads off with his many teeth. As Tom was about to be killed, his blaster flies out of his hand and into the control of Captain Sean Volta, a dark side user who was captured by Kit Fisto and Anakin. Her specialty was being able to manipulate blaster fire with the Force, almost like how Kylo can freeze one, but she can control its speed and direction. As she hands it back to Tom, they continue to fight the rest. As he narrates the rest of the events, he explains how the night was far from a test. It was simply just violence, a massacre even, as Vader took on countless prisoners on his own. Coming across one powerful fallen Jedi named Baron Servan, he boasts to Vader about how he killed 8 Jedi and their Padawans, telling him he has no clue why he's even there, or who he even is. Firing Force Lightning at Vader, the Dark Lord takes the hit, but keeps moving forwards like a machine. Here's something about Anakin's character for our files here. Tom explains Anakin finally brought Servan down when he started kidnapping younglings for Dooku. So from that being said, we can see Anakin always had a soft spot for children. It just goes to show how devoted he really was to saving Padme by killing the younglings. As Vader submits him to his will and everyone else who fought back, he ordered Tracta to tell them what it means to be an Imperial. As Tracta explains that the Jedi who left them to rot would have to pay the price, and that the Empire does not run on their values, but rather solely for order and order alone. As Vader commands them all to kneel before him, they pledge their loyalty to him and are moved to go through rigorous training tests. As Tom calculates the death toll, he tells Vader that of the 207 prisoners, 174 were killed that night. Throats slashed, skulls crushed, and limbs shattered. I mean, just as we look at the scene itself, we can see torsos and limbs scattered about. The level of rawness that these stories are drawn in deliver just the right amount of darkness to help us feel the scene without it just being gory or over the top. I found this next part rather interesting. As Tom walks through the graveyard, he names the different casualties, their conviction, and who brought them in. Ronco Bist, one of Dooku's men, leader of the Free Trandoshans, and the liaison to the Bounty Hunters Guild. Maimed by Anakin and arrested by Obi-Wan. As he continues to scan the field, he comes across a pilot droid that was brought down by Plo Koon and Anakin Skywalker. As he comes alive and screams for help, Tom tells Vader that more survivors live. Vader's reply was to kill them all. However, without any weapons to conserve his energy packs. So Tom basically just goes through the entire field and basically beats their brains in with a metal pipe. I mean, it just doesn't get more dark than this. As he completes his order, he runs inside to puke as Tracta tells him that Vader is very powerful and scary. However, he's a blunt instrument. He just believes in using the sword, not his head. Explaining that at Vader's side, he'll only learn to serve, but to come to him when he's ready to learn how to lead. The page quickly jumps to Gentis, observing a map of the Death Star, as he awaits Tarkin's arrival, planning to assassinate him and then take the mantle as the Emperor of the universe. A simple transition of power, as he calls it. The last and final scene of issue 4 is between Tom and Volta. As she is being questioned by him, she passionately opens up about why she hates the Jedi, senators, and the Republic. She says how her parents were honest working people, how her father was a pilot and her mother a sculptor, who hid her from the Jedi in fear of them taking her for her Force attunement, how she wanted to become a hyperspace engineer, and how the Republic's troopers killed her father as they controlled his ship, how the Republic cut off supply lines to her home world, leading to her mother's death from starvation, and how her husband's blood contrasted strongly against the snow when the fighting occurred throughout the planet. As she looks to Tom for his surprised assessment, she tells him that's what really should be on her file when she was arrested. Instead, the Republic just writes what they want to brand people with, instead of the facts. As he turns to her to ask if she really does know how to track a ship coming out of hyperspace, confirming with question, Tom looks at her with compassionate and determined eyes, telling her,
"We have a ship to catch."
I'm sure you can all guess what comes next in the last and final issue of the Ghost Prison series. The full-out war between Vader's men, the prisoners, Imperials, and Gentis, and his band of betrayers. Will the Emperor make a comeback in the final issue? Or is he left in his weakened condition forever, needing his cane from this moment on? Let me know if you want the last issue covered by hitting that like button or commenting below, and I'll get started right on that video. Thanks so much for watching, my fellow Jedi and Sith friends. I really appreciate it. Until we meet again in tomorrow's episode of Star Wars Theory, remember,
The Force will be with you always.